G'day everyone, my name's James Felino and I'm here for another week to bring you the Gold Coast property and auction sales results. The week that we'll be covering would be last week, Monday the 23rd of August to the 29th of August. Like we do every week, we'll go through a snapshot of the clearance rates and then we'll move into the lower price category under 750,000 on the Gold Coast, and then we'll look at some properties above that. I'm just going to share my screen with you guys. So let's do that. And we'll start off, we'll go straight to the auction results. So here's a bit of a snapshot of the auction results Australia-wide. As you can see, Victoria and New South Wales still really towing the line and providing some really strong results, upwards of 90% clearance rates. When we look at Queensland, we're in that 70% mark. We've been staying in that mark for a little while now. If we click on it and we just investigate a little bit further, we can see that there was 277 scheduled auctions for the weekend. Of that, we've only got results for 122 of them. Of those 122 results, we've got sales of 84 and 2 prior sold after auction, 3 before. Gave a clearance rate of 73%. The big thing is this figure just below, the non-auction sales at 1,602. It gave Queensland a total sales volume of, if we have a look back here, at about 1,700, just over 1,700 properties. And when you compare that, Victoria's down at just under 1,400 and New South Wales is at 1,900. So Queensland very much is in second place for sales volume. And depending on how long that lockdown goes in New South Wales, it might extend further. Queensland might have the most sales volume in any state. So we're going to go straight into it. We're going to look at the lower price properties. There's some really good ones this week. Let's have a look at them. So this is the first one. This was at 38 Mini Street in Southport. This was a 3-bed, 1-bath home. As you can see, it's an older style home. Potentially the person who purchased this bought it for land value, 579 square meters. Currently rented at $480 per week. Does lend itself to development, and this home sold for $700,000. The next one we're going to look at is this one here. This was another great home. This was at 3 Blandford Street in Arundel. This was on 500 square meters, and this brick home, double story, colour bond roof, was already set up for dual living. So it's 6 bedrooms, 2 kitchens, 2 bathrooms, and it was set up with an upstairs accommodation and also a downstairs accommodation. Has been updated, but as you can see from the photos, set up as a dual income property, and really good buy in this home. This one here in Arundel sold for $660,000. So very good and would provide a really good return. The next one we're going to look at is this one here in Muir Street, another great property, 130 Muir Street in Labrador. It was a 3-bed, 1-bath, 2-car home. As you can see from this picture, you've got a lovely corner block just meters from the Broadwater. Again, this block lending itself to development. It was currently rented at $500 a week and it has been updated. A very livable home. $685,000, potentially does have maybe even a dual occupancy where they can keep the existing house and potentially put a second dwelling in that rear yard. So again, for the astute investor, great buying. The next one we're going to look at is this one here. This was in Ashmore. This was just a standalone home. This was double story home, but it also was dual living. So it did lend itself to having those 2 income potentials. With a swimming pool, big block of land, 776 square meters, double story in Ashmore, 3 bedrooms on one level, 2 bedrooms on the other. And again, set up for if there's dependents or if you'd like to earn a bit of a side income, $725,000. Next one we're going to look at, another good one is this one here. It's a corner block. This was at 41 Southport Road, but in Tamborine Mountains. So up in the mountains, this one here was on a corner block, 1,000 square meters, brick home, 3-bed, 1-bath, double garage. And this one here sold for $660,000. Next one we're going to look at is this one over here, double story home. With a swimming pool. This was in Mollendina. This was at 34 Macquarie Avenue, 3-bed, 2-bath with 4-car accommodation, lovely pool, double story, really well renovated, ready to move into. You don't need to do too much. And this home here sold for $710,000. The last one we're going to look at in that lower price category is this one. This was at 9 Xenia Court in Kumbaba. It was a 4-bed, 2-bath with a double garage. This one here, brick veneer home, not too old, air conditioned throughout, carpet in the bedrooms. And this one here sold for a great price, $600,000. Okay, so we're going to move on to the higher priced homes. The first one we're going to look at is this one here. This was in Runaway Bay. So as you can see, very close to the Broadwater, another corner block. So we've really showed a fair few corner blocks this week. This one here was on 600 square meters, but already had permits for 4 tri-level townhouses. We've seen in the past weeks, I've showed what townhouses are selling for. So we sort of know where that's at, but from a perspective of land value, this was purchased at $900,000. So it means that the developer paid $225 per unit site. So pretty good buying at that level. Next one we're going to move along to is this one here. This was another corner block. This was in bigger waters. Again, could lend itself to development in the future. Very close to the water. 530 square meters. This was at 26 Clifton Street, 4-bed, 2-bath with 2-car accommodation. And this one here, lovely swimming pool as well, well-maintained home, sold $835,000. We're going to move along and we're going to go to a larger property here. This is in Pimpama. This was on 1 acre at 54 Guraya Grove in Pimpama, not too far from the M1 and the shops. Lovely sort of resort style feel home, not too far from the Gold Coast, large workshop and shed to the rear of the property. But anyone wanting that land component, $880,000. So good buy in there in Pimpama. Next one we're going to look at is back in Arundel. It's just a standalone home, this single level, 768 square meters, double garage, 4-bedroom, 2-bath. Again, ready to move into. This was at 4 Harrington Close, and this one here sold for $840,000. The last one we're going to look at in the Northern Gold Coast is actually this one. These ones here. This was a brand new home that sold at 18 Havana Way in Paradise Point. It sold at $1.625 million. It was on 476 square meters, and it was a large home, 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom with accommodation for 4 cars. It's a really big home. Okay, so let's move along. We're going to look at another development site. This was they weren't 2 houses side by side, but it was 2 properties, number 3 and number 5 Chance Street in Broadbeach Waters. Total land size was 1,062 square meters. One had an older style house on it. The other one had older style 2 duplexes on it. So in total, there was 7 bedrooms on these 2 properties. As you can see, very rentable and very livable as they stand at the moment. But again, to secure that kind of land size so close to the water in Broadbeach Waters is sort of unheard of today. So very good buying. This was bought at $2.2 million or 1.1 per property. Okay, we're going to move along. We've got this one here. We've got 45 Sunshine Boulevard in Broadbeach Waters. This waterfront home, 620 square meters with a pontoon. This was 4-bed, 3-bath with 2-car accommodation. And this one ended up selling for $1.625 million. We've got another one that we're going to look at in Broadbeach Waters, and it's this one here at 1 Winter Haven Quay. Again, a waterfront home, 4-bed, 2-bath with 4-car accommodation. It's got a small plunge pool, lovely aspect onto the water. As you can see, lovely outdoor alfresco area, well tiled throughout, lovely kitchen. And this one here in Broadbeach Waters, waterfront home, sold at $1.5 million. The last one that we're going to look at in the Middle Gold Coast is one in Mermaid Waters. We've got this one here. This is at 17 Southerly Street in Mermaid Waters. Again, a really well renovated home here. This was on a large block. It was a renovated cottage is what they called it. It was a 3-bed, 2-bath with 2-car accommodation. It was on a block of 670 square meters, had a rental appraisal of about 9 to 950, and this one here sold for 1.2 million. Moving along to the southern Gold Coast, we've got this property here. Again, another corner block. For the developers out there, this was a good one. This was on 1,043 square meters at 59 Jarrahdale Drive in Elanora. As you can see, they've already showed you where the house is located on the block and the land that you've got to the rear of the block. So with subject to council approval, there could be the possibility to put another dwelling to the rear of that property. And this one here in Elanora sold for $1,075,000. We're going to move along to Varsity Lakes. This is a waterfront home in Varsity. This is on 970 square meters, so large block of land. This was a 3-bed, 2-bath with 2-car home. This was at 16 Placid Court in Varsity. Again, really well-maintained home, waterfront, not too far from Robina Town Centre. And this one here sold for $1.245 million. Moving along, we're going to look at this one. This one here is in Robina. This was just a standalone house at 7 Bellbrook Close in Robina. 3-bed, 2-bath, 2-car garage. It was rented or currently rented at $580 per week. Land size was 551 square meters, and this property sold $785,000. Next one we're going to look at is a big one. It's this home, expansive home at 45 Golden Valley Road in Tullabudgera Valley. This was on 2 acres, swimming pool, tennis court, 10 minutes to Burleigh Beach. So even though you've got that country feel and 2 acres, you're only 10 minutes to the beach. This was a 7-bedroom, 5-bathroom home. Again, an amazing home, large home. You can check out the photos online for this one. There's plenty of them. And this home here sold for $3.8 million. So really good buying. And you can, again, ready to move into. Not a thing needs to be done to this place. The last one that we're going to look at is this one here. And this was in Burleigh Waters. This was just a standalone home, brick veneer, tile roof with this plunge pool. This was at 7 Sonama Court in Burleigh Waters, 3-bed, 1-bath, a single car garage with a car space. And this home here sold $850,000. So interesting week. We didn't have as many of the higher priced homes in there this week, but we had a lot of opportunity homes. So we had a lot of corner blocks. We had a lot of dual accommodation homes where you could get 2 incomes, and we had a lot of sites for developers. I hope that's helped you understand the Gold Coast property market. If you're interested in buying the Gold Coast property market, don't hesitate to give me a call. More than happy to help you out. Until next week, good luck with your property hunting.